Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Desire Dialogues. This is your friend, Lauren, where we tackle all things intimacy, pleasure, and connection. So, on today's episode, we're going to dive into a topic that can really make a huge difference and shift in your sex life. And it's often overlooked, right? How to create a bedroom environment that actually sparks desire. You know, your surroundings can either enhance or dampen your connection to yourself or your partner. So the goal is to transform your bedroom into this really nice sensual sanctuary where intimacy can actually thrive. So let's explore how to make that happen. So why your bedroom matters, right? Your bedroom is like your intimacy hub. It's where you relax, you unwind, and you connect with yourself and or your partner, right? This vibe of the space sets the tone for how you feel about being intimate. So I want you to think about, is my room cluttered? A messy, chaotic room truly creates stress, distracts you from the moment, right? Really distracts you from like feeling there with your body, right? Because you're focused on the overflowing trash can or the laundry in the corner. Unless you have the dark, the lights off and it's dark completely. And then we have like the psychology of ambiance, right? So these sensory triggers, like what you can see, hear, smell, and feel, significantly influence your mood and, your arousal. So declutter and clean for clarity. You deserve it, right? So clutter subconsciously like signals unfinished tasks to us, right? Makes it harder to relax. So clean the room of distractions like laundry, work items, and electronics. And you can actually ask your partner and be like, I really can't get in the mood with all of these things around me. I'm looking at them and my brain really is on those and I'm not really with you. Can you help me tidy up? So, create the zones too. Like that's the thing, the dedicating the bedroom to rest and intimacy. Remove anything doesn't really align with those purposes. Like remove conversations about finances, have those at the kitchen table. Conversations about the kids, have those on the couch, right? When we dedicate zones, it can really clear things up for us. I know it probably sounds really small, but very, very helpful. And then, refresh your space. So those things that you feel, right? Are you going to feel if the bedding is nice and clean, right? You're going to smell it. It's going to smell like laundry detergent. Wipe down all the surfaces, right? Maybe add a calming scent, candle, like lavender, vanilla, or like a room spray. And let's talk about setting the mood with lighting. So lighting does matter, right? Like bright, harsh lighting can feel uninviting when you feel like you're in a fucking doctor's office, right? And then you have that like softer, dim lighting that like creates a cozy vibe, even maybe romantic. Like if you go to get a massage, they dim the lights, right? But not enough so like they can still see you. So a way to adjust your lighting is to get those warm tone bulbs or like a dimmer, right? Or you can put some fairy lights, put some candles, give that nice little romantic touch, right? Also, pro tip, if you're self-conscious about your body, that soft lighting really flattens out like all the worry, right? It gives you a moment to feel a little bit more confident, right? It's a flattering light, right? So get rid of the rest of the shit. Tone it down a bit. That lighting makes you feel good. You can see me just a little bit. You see my outline. Maybe you can see my facial expression, My nipples look great in the candlelight. How about enhancing your sensory experiences? So I mean, for example, like touch, like so luxurious textures. I am a texture person, right? So high quality sheets, pillows, maybe a cozy fuzzy blanket, maybe like faux fur, maybe silk bathrobe. It makes it feel more indulgent. And that's for my like sensual blueprint people. So I go so much more into the sensual blueprint in my membership and when I work with my clients to create their personal user manual for their pleasure. So if you are sensual, all of these senses being enhanced really, really help. So the next one is like that aromatherapy with your sense of smell. So jasmine, ylang ylang, sandalwood, those are scents that are actually known to enhance arousal. You can use an oil diffuser, a linen spray, always the candles, right? And then what if you're like, oh, I really like music, it really influences me, right? What if you curate a playlist, right? Maybe create a playlist of sensual, relaxing music that helps you unwind. Maybe, I think it's like apps like Spotify that actually you can search romance or intimacy playlists, and those will bring up for you. Now let's talk about your sense of sight. What if you have like personalized decor? So like when you make, that space feel uniquely yours, uniquely, I said that wrong, uniquely yours, like your artwork, right? Your photos, different colors that kind of resonate with you, right? Some people choose like the calming sensual colors, like a soft pink or like a warm neutral. Or are you somebody that's like, I want some like sexy ones, like a nice deep red throw blanket, right? That you only bring out for times like that, right? And then your taste, keep it playful, my friends. Like bowl of chocolates, strawberries. Some people it's Sour Patch Kids, like whatever works for you, right? And then the next thing we're going to talk about is banishing the bedroom mood killers, right? Electronics. Set a no screen rule for an hour before bed, just so you can focus on connection. It doesn't have to mean sex. It means connection. So take those phones, turn the TV off, put the laptops away, right? Keep them out of the bedroom if that's possible too. Keep them in the office or in the living room so they can charge overnight. Work items. So like if you have a desk there, make sure you kind of put that all away, right? It pulls you out of the moment. You can just kind of store them, into a different room out of sight or put them in their drawers, right? How about your nightstand, right? If you're being bent over and you're looking at your nightstand, you can have like piles of books and bills, or like, a pile of laundry in the corner, or you see a film of dust. Yeah, keep things a little bit, you deserve a nice little tidy up, right? When you have a cluttered mind, you're not going to be able to be in your body, especially if you're somebody who responds to things around them, really. Some people like that, and this could be really beneficial. I hope it is. Let's talk about personalizing the space for connection. So if you reflect on your relationship, are there, photos that remind you of them, souvenirs from trips? Maybe even you make like a little special love corner, right? So there's like a small area in your bedroom that has books, sensual toys, massage oils, right? And also too, what about like some seasonal changes? Bring in the season elements with cozy blankets, lighter fabrics in summer, those nice cozy like heavy blankets in the winter. Switch the vibe up with the season. Let's talk about the ritual of preparing the space for connection. So if you make it a joint activity, that can be an act of foreplay in its own, right? So like you prepare the space together, you play some music, ask them to grab the playlist and get it connected, light some candles, do it as a team. And when you use these rituals transition, it's very helpful. We go from daily, very busy lives, taking care of kids. There's like, whoa, and then you got to go in the bedroom and you got to be like, let's go. No, it doesn't work that way. Take a little time, right? Transition. Honor your transition and your need to desensitize, right? You're probably overstimulated from the day. So, pro tip, find yourselves a go-to intimacy ritual, whether it's lighting a candle, playing a favorite song, and that creates this like constant trigger for desire. You're like, oh, I know this is my time to relax now, or I know it's time to start transitioning. Let's talk about the emotional connection to your space, right? You want it to feel safe and comfortable. It's really a sanctuary. We can be vulnerable, but you can also really be yourself, your sexy, authentic self, right? So the safer it is, the more likely you're going to be open in all aspects, especially sexually. It also is a reflection of your bond, right? You put a little more effort into, the space, kind of mirrors how you, the care you put into your relationship. And that's only to say if one of you really has a hard time when there's things all around, right? Not everybody gives a shit. But this episode is for the ones that do give a shit, right? So some quick actionable tips, right? Start small. You don't need a full makeover, yeah? You don't need to hire a fucking cleaner. Just go ahead, declutter, maybe just add in one sensory element. Maybe go buy some new sheets together. How about rotating like new additions, right? So you can like switch up the playlist, you can switch up to the decor, the throw pillows, and also check in with your partner. What would make this space feel like more relaxing or more romantic or more inviting for you, right? My friends, your bedroom isn't just a room, right? It's the heart of your intimate connection. I am not saying that sex only happens in the bedroom. That's not the case. Oh, I know the possibilities are endless, right? If anybody needs car sex all the time, you can apply all these things to your car, right? Bring it to the car wash, get it cleaned inside, get a nice little air freshener, right? And then just dim the lights a little bit. Or you can just keep the dome light on. Just make sure who the fuck is around you in a public parking lot, right? So my friends, when you create this environment that really allows desire to come in, declutters that bullshit so you can really be there, that really, brings you into some nice fun stuff, right? So like, what is something that you desire? What's one small change that you desire that you think will make, your bedroom a little bit more inviting this week, Let me know. Share your transformation stories with me on Instagram or just send me an email. All my info is always in the show notes. Until next time, my friends, remember your space reflects your love, or maybe it doesn't, right? Depending on how you are. So just treat it with care and intention. If it's important to you, don't let that go under the rug, right? And before I go, I really want to tell you about my Pleasure Collective membership. Oh my God, the Pleasure Collective. Here's the deal. Like, what if your sex life felt like a spell that you just couldn't waste to cast, right? You're like, oh my God, my sex life is great. I'm ready to just whip this out. I'm ready to whip this wand around like Harry Potter. Like, I'm ready to go, right? What if sex felt like that, right? You're just ready to get into it. You got a sex coach in your back pocket. You know what your turn-ons are. You know what your turn-offs are. There's no more wondering, like, what's wrong with your libido or, like, why aren't they understanding what I need, right? These are real things that be designed to help you communicate what you like, what you don't like, what you want to explore, the pace you want to go. This is all real rituals and coaching designed for you. Your body, your pace, your personal magic, right? The thing is, it's like, this fast tracks your way to like really juicy desire and way yummier orgasms and pleasure. Just practices that actually work in your real life, in your real body. And you have complete access to me the whole time, right? So that's the thing. It's like, you're like, some things are missing. Like, I like sex, but it could be better. Like, I love my partner, but like sometimes I just don't initiate the right way, right? There's actually 4 key components here. Everybody has their own initiation style that they prefer. Everybody has their own love language that they prefer. Everybody has a desire type. There's 2 different ones that really, really dictate how you're initiated upon. And then lastly, your erotic blueprint. These are the things that you're pre-wired for arousal. So that's my 4 square method, right? So we take all those and create your pleasure user manual. And you're able to communicate those. I help you with scripts to communicate exactly what this is without causing an argument, without making anybody feel bad, right? Because they didn't know, right? It's all a learning journey, my friends, right? That's the thing. If you're feeling like you want more pleasure, you don't know what's missing, like pleasure is there waiting for you. And it's like up to you if you want to lean into it, if you want to claim it, if you want to learn more about you because you're worthy, right? You deserve that. You deserve desire. And desire is going to look different to everybody. And that's totally okay. Until next time, my friends, feel free to share this with anybody who may need it. Send me any information, any questions, any feedback. I got you. Share it with a friend too. Until next time, friends, we'll talk to you then.